All right, dude.
The stream is live, man. It says stream is live.
We're live, dude. All right.
Here we go.
So I don't know if anybody's watching just yet, but if you are, welcome to the Stone and Hyper Show. This is finally happening, dude. This has kind of been in the works for a little while now. We've been kind of talking and watching, been a fan of each other's channels for quite a while now, a couple months. And we just got to talking, we were like, we should do a live stream and just get to know each other. And we did a FaceTime and we ended up talking for about 2 hours and just had a great conversation. And we were just kind of stayed in touch a little more than either one of us probably thought we were going to. And it just kind of turned into something more. We're like, well, let's just make a show out of it, man. Let's just do something like stream like once monthly or twice, whatever this turns into. But like I said, I'm the Stone Mandalorian. I appreciate you all being here. Hyperdrive, you want to introduce yourself, man?
Welcome, everybody. I'm Hyperdrive of the Stone and Hyper Show.
Yes, sir.
And it is a pleasure to meet all of you. This guy here is the founder of this whole thing, and he's a good dude. He's a good dude. He deserves your accolades. And for my part, we started like he said, we started chatting and commenting on each other's stuff, and I really like the way Stone does some really good not interviews, but like reviews. And it's just he's got a great way about it. I just like it. He adds a little something. Brings a little spice to it. And so I started commenting on him, and then he started following. If you follow my channel, you might know I do a lot of dioramas and customs and things like this, and G.I. Joe and Star Wars, and every now and then do something else, maybe a Marvel. And he started commenting on some of my stuff, and we just started to hit it off. And so here we are. We're doing it now, and let's hope this is the first of many.
Yeah, dude. I have a feeling it's going to be, man. Like I said, when we FaceTime and we finally talked face to face, it was just, I was expecting like a 10, 20-minute conversation just to kind of give a rundown and feel each other out what we're going to talk about. And we ended up talking for 2 fucking hours, man, and just had a really great conversation. And it just felt very organic and natural, dude. But so just real quick, just before, because we got a couple things planned. We actually have a Death Watch Mandalorian figure from the Black Series that, courtesy of Hyper himself, that he customized. As long as you're within the contiguous or like the lower 48 states, we will ship it to you. We're going to do a giveaway, and we'll figure out how many people we get in here, and we'll do like a little 1 through like 100 number, and we'll make y'all pick numbers, and we'll go through. I think Hyper's actually grabbing the giveaway now.
So here is the figure, and if you're not familiar with my work, you can go and check out the channel, and it primarily focuses on customs and dioramas and things like this, and pretty simple. A lot of what I do is sort of there are different gradients to it. So I try to do, like, for instance, a diorama. I've got 2 categories right now. There's the diorama for $5 or less and the diorama for $10 or less. And I try to walk you through how to build something like that. I try to walk you through what you might need. And as a matter of fact, tomorrow I've got some videos scheduled coming out to do the first in the series of $10 or less videos. And over here behind me, where is it? It's this side here. So this side here, that is you might see this diorama. It's just sort of a Black Series 6-inch diorama. And that's Zori Bliss on there, by the way. I put Zori Bliss on there because she's almost a mascot at this point, dude.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
But I walk you through how to do that, and then I just did this one over here, this one, and this is a Micro Galaxy Squadron diorama, and I was showing Stone some of it, and there it is right there. That piece is a beautiful piece.
Yes, it is, dude.
It's a Micro Galaxy Squadron, but you like Clone Wars or something like that.
Yep.
It is. That thing is absolutely. I think that's probably the best vehicle they've done so far. And I wanted to do a diorama, so tomorrow I'm going to drop some videos on how to do a diorama for that one. That's in the $5 or less category.
I am really looking forward to that.
Yeah. So. And I'm trying to get Stone to do it so that if I drop a video on how to, he's going to do done did, right? So that's what we're going to do here, right? So he's going to, it's like painting with Bob Ross. So not that I'm any sort of Bob Ross, but I want him. I want to see if if I lay it down, can he pick it up? So that's kind of I think what I'm trying to get him to do. But also along with that is any of you, if you have any questions about dioramas. I mean, I'm nothing special, but I've been building dioramas for a long time, and there's a lot I know how to do, at least in my own way. So if any of that appeals to anybody and you have questions, just drop a just watch one of my videos, and I'll always answer the posts and the whatever you want to see, I'll try to do in a video. Okay, so that's what we're doing there.
And just real quick to add on to that, me and you were kind of talking earlier about, a lot of thing with collecting, especially Black Series. A lot of collectors have really turned to 3D printing to kind of enhance their displays and stuff like that, and just add more realism and depth to their collection. That being said, me and you were talking earlier today about the practical effects and how that kind of art is not, well, you could probably argue it's kind of dying, but like episodes 4 through 6, that was all practical effects, like the Wampa in the cave and Empire Strikes Back, like all the little minute details, like all the little figurines of the X-Wings and the Death Star that they blow up and set on fire, like all that was practical effects that they built.
Yeah,
it's come such a long way with just CGI and the 3D printing, which is really dope. What like the guy Lance Peter Luke, me and you've discussed him before. The stuff that he does is fucking incredible, dude. Like
it's unbelievable.
It is. The passion he puts into that stuff is. He's a pioneer for collecting and for the Black Series and for just 3D printing in general. But yeah, just going off of that, like you kind of keeping this old art alive. Like I went through and I've seen some of your stuff, and like, dude, that Geonosian one that ATTE is on, it is just so beautiful. Like you're explaining how you did it and what you were doing, what your insight was. So I can feel your passion for it. And you're like, it just means a lot, man. When you put that kind of like time and effort into a piece, I'm not taking away from 3D printers. Like it's just you press a button and it prints and then it's done. You might put some
right.
Like you're literally building these things. Like y'all, Hyper was telling me he's on his display. He has like rocks and landscape and stuff. He uses like spices or moss from outside, but he makes these paper mache rocks, and they look fucking incredible, dude. Like. And just the scale of everything, it just looks really, really good, man. Sorry, I got stuck on that.
Thank you, man. So, I think I showed you once. I did a Hoth Wampa cave, and I've done a lot of different. I try to do environments. I try to do landscapes. I try to do buildings and all these things. And so the goal is to try to walk people through. Here's how you make snow. Here's how you make geonosis. Here's how you make a swamp. And so. The longer this series goes, I'm going to try to do it 2 ways. I'm going to try to do like the super on a budget way, and then I'll try to make one a little bit more expanded and do 110. And then eventually, in the beginning of 2025, I'll do like a $15 to $20 range. But I was showing Stone some of my stuff, and for $10, you can really stretch it for $10. Like,
yeah, man,
it doesn't sound like a lot, but you can make a huge detailed thing for $10 with stuff you already own in your house.
Yeah, dude.
And again, just to say, just to reiterate, I have a 3D printer. I have an Elegoo 8000, whatever it is. It's a good printer. I really like it. It's a resin printer, and I do use it.
Oh.
And I am not in any way or shape saying that there's no art or skill to that, because there absolutely is, for sure, especially if you're writing the file,
yeah, like creating the file yourself.
Oh my God.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and it puts in the average person's hands like me the ability to make a 1-to-1 Millennium Falcon lounge, or a 1-to-1 Theed generator complex, or whatever you want. And that's fine and good, but I like to craft things, and I like to build things with my own hands. I built this whole room is my own work, so I built my whole house. I don't know how to not build things. So for me, it's building a diorama is fun because I sort of lose myself in the process. I forget about the world around me, and I kind of just get lost in these little weird, strange worlds that I build. And there are still plenty of people out there who like that. So my goal is I'm going to start incorporating both 3D printing and the handmade stuff. That's kind of a goal for later in 2025. We'll start adding some of that stuff. But right now I want to focus on just passing on whatever I might know how to do to people who are interested. And if I don't know how to do it, we'll figure it out together. That's kind of the other goal for me, So.
And from what I understand, you did say you have a resin printer. So like that's different than like a lot of what's common in the community, like a filament printer.
Yep.
From what I understand, the filament, you can get like more detail and stuff like that with it, right?
So, well, there are very, very good filament printers. There are exceptionally good resin printers.
Yeah.
I've never used a filament printer. I know that filament printers tend to have more layers. You have to sand it more a little bit.
Yeah.
So the layers in a filament printer, unless I'm mistaken, and if someone is out there who knows more about it than me, please correct me. But there are certain steps that you have to take with a filament printer because of the microfine layers, almost like layers of sediment in layers of earth. With a resin printer, the layers really are non-existent. They're there, that it builds in layers, but what you have is this sort of architecture around it that is like a contact point and a stabilization point. And so you have these tiny little dots that surround the model, and it almost looks like a staging that goes around in the 3D printer. And unfortunately, what it does is you waste more of your resin on the structure around it, the support structure around it, than the actual model itself. So that's another one of the drawbacks, because the resin is expensive, and so I'm very selective about what I use it for.
Yeah.
But that's not to say that I don't. I actually just did a vintage X-Wing fighter, Kenner X-Wing fighter, and I printed out, instead of the old R2-D2 head that activates the wings, I actually did an R5 unit. So it's a vintage style R5 unit, and it looks super cool.
Oh yeah,
it's awesome, and it looks great. I should have it with me. The next time we live stream, I'll show it to you. But it's very cool.
People like a lot of the time when they're selling these like alternate heads and stuff, or different head sculpts, they'll use a resin printer rather than like a filament printer, because it's a different material. The material works so much differently from printer to printer. Like you were saying, with the filament, you can kind of, even when you print it out, unless you go back over and buff it out, you can see the layers of where it goes back over and traces the design and everything. So
and whether it's filament or resin, I will tell you this: you get a lot of misprints. So you press that button and you think you're going to get something first shot, and I would say that's almost the exception, not the rule. So you're probably going to have to print something twice to get a good copy of it. So that's another one of the drawbacks to it, and it takes a long time. And so again, I use them all the time. I love it, but there are drawbacks to it, just like there are drawbacks to handcrafting something.
That's true.
But I think there's a nice balance that can be reached between the two.
Yeah. Hyper, do you want to get into some of these? You have me eager. Do you want to get into some of these questions, dude?
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Dude, you've been like kind of pipelining to me, like, dude, I got some good stuff for you.
Do we have anybody watching right now?
We have 4 people watching right now. I think
4 people watching. Hello, 4 people watching. How you doing?
Yeah. Dude, I'm thinking it doesn't say 0.
Hey, this is what it's about, right?
Dude, you're just 2 dudes that love Star Wars, man.
So, all right. So, 4 people watching. I am a 52-year-old man who must wear reading glasses. So these are going on now. So,
oh, bro, don't feel bad. I'm almost 30 and I got mine.
There we go. So yeah, so
don't feel bad.
All right. So this is a little series that I'd like to call. Maybe this could be a running gag. This is going to be called Uncomfortable Scenarios with Hyperdrive. Okay, so I have crafted these questions. These are Black Series related questions.
Okay.
All right, and the idea being, Stone has no idea what these questions are, and so we tried to do 10 questions about Black Series because this is primarily about Black Series.
Of course. Yeah.
Reviews, dioramas, and all this stuff. So, having said that, let's get into some of these questions that I've been dying to share with Stone. So, I'm going to pick one here. So, let's go with this one first. All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready, dude.
All right, man. Pertaining to the Black Series, the Star Wars Black Series. You have been sued by Hasbro for copyright infringement, but they have offered you an out. One of the following iconic male characters must be changed to a female character, and the entire saga will be altered forever. Your name will forever be associated with this change, but the lawsuit will be dropped if you participate. Please select one of the following beloved Star Wars characters.
You're an asshole. Dude, you're gonna get me fucking canceled. Everybody's gonna unsubscribe from me.
All right. Please select one of the following Star Wars characters to transition, as it were. Okay? Han Solo, Darth Vader, Boba Fett, Qui-Gon, or Luke.
Okay.
Now remember, they're going to redo the whole movie.
So this is the thing. I don't know if some people probably know this, of course, but Luke was actually supposed to be a girl.
Okay. All right.
Because her name was Star Killer.
Right.
Before it was ever Luke Skywalker, and he changed it to a boy. Like Luke was intended to actually be a girl from George Lucas' scripts and shit. So, because I thought you were going to let me name any character, so I was like, oh, I could fuck some shit up and say fucking Anakin.
Oh, no. No way.
Right. They did. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to shit talk the sequels. I'm not going to shit talk.
Right.
And then I was thinking, like, damn, what if I, like, changed it out with, maybe, like, instead of Luke? Honestly, I might would have to go with Luke, because here's another thing. When Luke is leaving Dagobah with Yoda, leaving Yoda and Obi-Wan on Dagobah to go face Vader.
Right.
Yoda tells him he's not ready and this and that. And he said, but there is another, talking about Leia. I think originally people speculate that Leia was supposed to be the one training with Yoda, not Luke. So, like, if I had to choose, as much of an, I don't know though, but like, I can't touch Luke Skywalker, dude. Like,
remember, your name, Hasbro is associating the stoned Mandalorian for all time. This is.
And then if I change Han Solo, dude, like, he's just the smuggler, like, badass. But I could see putting like a female, like, just like a bad bitch that doesn't take shit and will just manhandle any kind of dude or alien species or whatever, because she's just like, I could see them doing that spin and having a female smuggler like Han Solo. But these characters are just so fucking iconic, and Mark Hamill and Harrison Ford, they just know they've created those parts so well, and it's hard to fucking thinking about changing it or touching it. Okay, so give me the characters again.
Okay, so we got Darth Vader. Hold on, I gotta get back in. Hold on a second. No, I don't think you can touch Vader. I don't think you can touch Vader. There's one I think you could, but here we go. So we got Han Solo,
okay, Darth
Vader, Boba Fett, Qui-Gon, and Luke. Well,
I cannot touch Qui-Gon because Qui-Gon is literally my favorite, and I just Liam Neeson just did that part so perfectly. Honestly, dude, it would be kind of cool to see Boba Fett as a female.
I think that's the one you go with because they're masked anyways.
Yeah. Right? Yeah, right. And then you can always spin, like, because you got Omega in Bad Batch now, and she's an unaltered clone, almost like Boba Fett.
Right.
Omega required an unaltered clone to, like, raise the father. So, like, Omega is also unaltered. So, like, what if the daughter stepped in and it was Omega Fett? You know what I'm saying? Instead
Right, right. Yes. Okay.
maybe that would be cool. Like, imagine if Boba Fett was a female.
You could go there. You could take it there and not really change everything, you know?
Yeah, like you said, to play it safe, not to change the story or the trilogy or the characters too much. Helmeted anyways. I think I have to go with Boba Fett, dude. Yeah.
So okay, so YouTube, that we have that on record now. That is Stone Mandalorian is now throw away all of your merchandise. We're remarketing, we're rebranding the whole thing. Boba
Dude,
Fett.
did you watch Boba Fett? It was Beta Fett, okay? No,
it's true. It's true.
It was good. Let me not shit talk Boba Fett too much. There was good parts because we've talked about this too. There's good
I thought
parts
it was
and bad parts.
cool. Yeah.
I thought it was awesome, man. There was like the only thing, like obviously the speeders on Tatooine, like the fucking like enhanced people with the cyborg guys and shit, and they're riding around with like candy painted fucking scooters, and then there's the scenes in between. Like, dude, we've seen pod racing and speeders and fuck on indoor in the Red National Forest in California. Like, y'all need to make those speeders be buzzing through fucking Tatooine, or most Espa actually. Not
right.
So most Espa, like the scenes there were just, you know, there was good and bad, but there was I really had fun watching it. That's the main part.
I thought so. Okay, so here's one of my sleeper favorite Black Series figures of all time. Is probably oh my god, his name just went right out of my head.
Well, you blanked it, yeah.
I just blanked it. You know the guy who wore the armor. What is his name? It's Cobb Vanth. Cobb Vanth.
Oh, yeah.
Cobb Vanth, I thought was awesome. I really liked him as a character.
Yeah.
He's there's a 2-pack that came out with
Cad Bane.
Cad Bane.
Yeah.
That figure spends more time on my shelf than almost everything else because I just love that sort of cowboy vibe it's got. You know, he's got like it's like a 6-shooter type of gun. It's just, I don't know, it crosses into like real world I've actually got a custom in mind for that. I'm going to use that as a base for, I've always wanted to mix like an old West Clint Eastwood Man with No Name type of thing into the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, dude.
With like the poncho and everything.
Yeah, dude.
And I think because of Book of Boba Fett, I think you can go into that realm and cross over and kind of get there, you know, like kind of go into Clint Eastwood territory because of Cobb Vanth and all of that. So anyways, but
I had this conversation with my brother when Mandalorian, because I told you Mandalorian kind of brought me and my brother back to Star Wars after the sequel.
Right.
We didn't care for the sequels, but dude, the Mandalorian, I was watching. I'm a big Eastwood fan. Like, I love Fistful of Dollars, Josie Wales, like all those old school westerns, spaghetti westerns, like Tombstone.
Oh
yeah, the old school's Tombstone, not the newer one with like Val Kilmer. But that's a good movie too. But
yeah.
But it was like, I told my brother, I was like, dude, I love this because it was just so new and fresh. I was like, it's like a Western, a Star Wars Western.
Oh yeah.
I had named it that, and then people started referencing. I started noticing people were like writing articles and calling it a Star Wars. I was like, see, it's giving off that vibe to everyone. Like, it just had that feel. Yeah. Big, grand scale. You're out alone doing your fucking thing. And man, just Mandalorian was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, you know, and I think that clearly they went in that direction with the design of the figures too. So, or the design of the characters, and it translates so well into figures, in my opinion.
They're so toyetic. You know?
Exactly, toyetic. Yeah,
it looks so good as figures, you know.
And so, like, when I do a lot of dioramas, so I was telling you yesterday, and nobody knows this other than you, but so I used to do some pro bono diorama work. I used to do
like you won awards and stuff like that for your shit, dude, right?
Yeah. And you know, everybody always wanted Tatooine. Like, everybody always wanted Tatooine. I have built more Tatooine dioramas than you could possibly imagine. And the reason I mention it is because I would get pictures. This is I haven't done it on commission for probably 10 years, but back in the early 2010s, you know, you wouldn't get videos there, you wouldn't put it on Facebook, but you would put it, like, I'd get like a grainy cell phone picture of a diorama,
Yeah.
and they were doing it. I thought I was building it for a Star Wars collector, and they were turning it into Western dioramas for like Western figures and stuff,
cool.
or even like World War II desert scenes and stuff like that, you know. And I'm like, wow, yeah. So, you know, definitely, and you wouldn't even bat an eye at it. So that's the thing, like, you know, so you make this futuristic or long time ago, far, far away diorama on a desert planet, and the next thing you know, you got a fistful of dollars diorama, and you wouldn't even know the difference, you know. So
yeah. This works.
Yeah,
dude. If I wait now, I want a Clint Eastwood figure just to pose with one of my men. I have a desk buddy. I have a couple of different ones, but I love the Glavis Ringwood one. But the mine's a Mandalorian one. It's got the hard cape, which I don't care for, but dude, this is just such a fun figure, and he just kind of sits here, and I just kind of mess with him from time to time.
Is that mine's a Mandalore?
That is mine's a Mandalore, correct?
I haven't bought that one yet. That looks great.
Dude, I wish it had the soft goods cape. Like they already didn't throw in the jetpack with it. I wish it had the soft goods cape, to be honest.
Yeah.
Look who I have right here. You recognize this?
Hey, wait a minute now. That is one hell of a good looking figgy right there.
Courtesy of
why don't you say a little something about that one while we're talking about it?
Okay. So this is a gift that Hyper sent me a couple weeks ago, and he just kind of surprised me with it. He was like, "Hey, man, I have something I want to send you. I think it would look great in your collection." And I was like, "All right." I felt I'm not good at like receiving gifts and compliments, but he was just very insistent about it, and I offered to pay for shipping. He insisted that he would take care of it. And well, first off, he sent me this awesome customized Mandalorian. The camera's weird, but he looks fucking badass. The shoulder pads are completely different from a stock Mando.
Right.
He put this into a yellow rit dye, and it's totally changed this blue and put it like into a green hue. And here, you know what? Just hold on real quick. I'm gonna grab a regular one real quick, just so y'all can see the difference that Hyper's done to this figure. Because to the naked eye, it's hard to see. Now you can really start to see just how different it is. That blue is this is really hard to do with this camera. But like if you notice, this undersuit is more of like a purple, and on the one on my left, it's got more of a brown, and it just looks really, really freaking awesome, man. So like that you can add some variety to your shelf, you know?
So yeah, so the giveaway for tonight's to some person, I never want to say the word lucky person, but to the person who wins this particular figure, the same treatments have been done on this figure for the giveaway that were done to Stone's that I gave him. So again, there's been a yellow wash to it. There's been a weathering to it, and it's really, really, I don't know, Stone, do you agree? It's hard to pick up on camera, but when you see it in person,
yes,
you can. It's a very different look.
Oh, 100%. I told you it looked good in the video, and that was before I even knew you were going to send it to me. And I saw it in person, and it was just like I just noticed it so much more in person.
So I think that whoever wins the figure tonight. Oh, and by the way, the diorama as well. There's the background diorama that goes along with it, and oh yeah, like that, very similar to that. Yeah.
And this is something just very basic that Hyper does. He's got stuff that is way more advanced than this. This is felt on the back, really nice touch. But this looks really cool.
So this one here, this is the one that you'll get with the figure. And wait, Stone, put that one back up for a second.
Yeah, dude.
So, all right, there you go. So this is a series that I do. These are the like $5 or less. And so these are two examples of two pieces of scrap plywood, some construction paper, and some contact cement. I mean, we're talking about maybe $2. You know, I mean, all these different pieces of paper, and like the one that Stone has too. Like this is a piece of paper that's 25 cents at the craft store. This is from a Mandalorian activity book from the dollar store, a couple of pages out of it, and then just a piece of black paper. and stone has another galaxy background.
Yep.
Again, it's 50 cents, 75 cents in craft paper, and an X-Acto knife, and that's it. But having said that, there's a certain amount of they're super easy to make. They're like ridiculously easy to make, but it requires the idea to make it, and so that's why if you are interested in learning how to make dioramas on any scale, whether it be really elaborate or something even as simple as that, we'll walk you through it. We'll walk you through it, and I'm gonna have Stone make one of those too as well. So
I'm looking forward to your tutorials, man, because I'm telling you, I'm about to do that Geonosian one for the ATTE, man. That thing looks amazing. I'm about to buy a pound of paprika, dude.
So hold on, let me grab that. I'll show you.
I was going to ask you, if it wasn't too much trouble, I was going to ask you if you could grab that, dude, because that thing.
So the little figures are going to fall down, but hold on a second. So I don't know if you can really see it or not. It's really hard to see on the thing, but I'm gonna just take the ATT off. But there's essentially the ATTE, all right, and I'll show you how to do this what I call like a live edge, like when you build a table out of a piece of like live oak or live cherry or something. You leave the live edge and it gives that, and then if you look here.
Piper, did you upload that video to your channel?
It goes live. It goes tomorrow. It's going to be downloaded tomorrow.
Y'all get a closer look at it tomorrow when he posts it, dude. Because it's fucking amazing, dude. I love the piece.
I'll show you. I'm just going to take these little figs off, but so like that. That's basically it right there. So
explain to them how you did the rocks real quick, man.
So these rocks right here, these little rocks are not stones from like your driveway or your yard. Those are paper mache. And so the whole thing is like 3 ounces. I mean, there's nothing to it at all. It's very, very lightweight. And it's this foam that you can buy at the Home Depot. And in the video tomorrow, when it launches, I show you that it gives you the SKU, it gives you everything. So you'll be able to find it at Home Depot or Lowe's or whatever. But this is a piece of scrap. So it comes in a 3x3 sheet, this pink foam insulation. And this is a scrap, like just a scrap from another project. Never throw away the scraps because you can always use them for something. And so this is about maybe $1's worth of the pink foam, $1 maybe. And then the stones are made out of toilet paper, white PVC glue from the dollar store, and a little squirt, about a squirt and a half of Dawn dish detergent and hot water. And you just make this mache out of it into you blend it or crush it or use your mixer like a house mixer. And what you do is you mix all those ingredients together. And I'll go over the recipe in great detail, but it's basically 1 to 1 to 1. A roll of toilet paper, 1 thing of glue, squirt of Dawn dish detergent, and about the same amount of water as toilet paper. So maybe about 2 cups of hot water, boiling hot water. That's it.
I mean, it just mimics the effect of stone so well. And it's, dude, like what sense doing with that toilet paper, just the materials you have invested. I know you said it's like your $5 or $10, but like just to make something that cool, that's a really cool fucking way to do it, man.
Yeah, man. So I mean, that's super easy to do. And you just blend all those ingredients together to make the rocks, and you want to have it maybe like toothpaste, almost something that holds its form but is still very, very malleable. And you have about 24 hours to work with it. So even if you made it and then you had to go to work, you could cover it and then come home and it's still going to be malleable and ready to go. In fact, it'll be even better. So you just make it in the shape that you want. And then what I do is I just take a toothbrush or a disposable brush, like you can buy at the paint store or the hardware store or whatever, one of those cheapy disposable brushes, and you just dab it a little bit on top and around the side, and it creates the texture. And then you just let it harden. It just takes time. It just, within about 6 or 7 hours, it'll harden. And then you have these incredibly light, they're almost like packing peanuts. It's about the same weight as a packing peanut,
okay.
And then it takes paint well, it takes everything well, and then you just glue them down, and that's it, you know. But the paprika, so Stone was laughing because everything I try to do, the other thing I try to do is I try not to spend a lot of money on these things because everybody's on a budget these days, you know, groceries and everything, you know. So I just went to my wife's spice cabinet and I grabbed the paprika, like the McCormick paprika or the whatever Kroger or whatever you got. Just grab the paprika right off the shelf, and then the stones. These, I don't know if you can tell, but there's like these tiny little pebbles and things all over the place.
Love that touch, dude. It's the little things, man.
So that is dried lemon peel kernels or whatever they call it, granules. And my wife has like a shaker of them, like a thing, and they come in like tiny little pebbles. So you just take your glue. You don't even have to buy Mod Podge. You can just you take white glue from the dollar store, like Elmer's glue or whatever the dollar store is, and you put it down as a layer. You just put it down as a layer all over the model everywhere.
Yeah.
And then you just sift or sprinkle the rocks and the paprika all over everything and just let it sit.
I mean, dude, it's genius because if anybody that's watching has ever watched Attack of the Clones, it pulls off that brownish red tannin looking color so fucking well, man.
Oh, thank you very much. Yeah,
yes, man.
And I'll tell you, like when we build them, and when I force Stone's hand into making one of those, it's going to be better than mine. You guys can all make it better than me. I'm not kidding you guys. Like, if it were difficult, I would tell you. It is not. It is not difficult. So, you know, I think honestly, the hardest thing about it is just maybe locating what you might need. There's more time and effort in locating what you might need than actually doing it, you know? So that's kind of the hardest thing. You know, everybody's got some Elmer's glue at the house, or everybody's got some paprika in the pantry or whatever. And, you know, just
common household items that you can use to enhance your display or diorama. Exactly.
Yeah. You know, and then you just hit it with a clear coat. You can go to the paint store, go to the hobby store, buy a clear coat, matte clear coat, semi-gloss, whatever you want. Spray it a couple of times, and poof, there you go. That's it. You know, so don't worry, it's super easy to do. But I have many other questions that we have to get to.
I'm sorry, dude. We got off on a tangent. Yeah,
right. So okay, so all right. Let's do a Black Series. Like, that was more of a Star Wars related one, but let's do like a Black Series one. Okay,
let's do it. Hey, have you checked chat at all, Hyper? I hope people I hope people aren't trying to talk to us or anything.
Oh, geez, I don't know. I haven't.
I totally forgot about that. I don't know.
Oh yeah, check it out. Let's answer some questions or whatever.
Let's see if I can get it. I don't know. There's no comments yet, I don't think.
Okay. So no problem.
We'll keep it rolling. Okay, so go ahead. Hit me with some questions, dude.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Here's another favorite. Here's another good one. Okay. Hasbro has selected the Stone Mandalorian YouTube channel to pick the next Fans' Choice character. They will agree to make any character you select, but you knew there was a but coming. They will also make a hideous Rise of Skywalker slave Leia, okay? And label that as the figure that the Stone Mandalorian has picked, with an exclusive holographic sticker on the box that says Stone Mandalorian's Choice.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you take this deal and get the figure you really want?
Dude, that is a loaded question.
I told you. Uncomfortable scenarios.
Okay, so give me the rundown of it again.
All right.
You said a Rise of Skywalker slave Leia?
Yes. So in other words, old lady Leia, deathbed Leia. You're gonna have to they're gonna make a deathbed slave Leia.
Like flies out the coffin. The Force.
In the slave outfit. but they're gonna label it your pick with the little sticker on it. You know, like the little Stone Bando's pick.
But you said I get to pick a figure that I
Yes.
specifically want. They have to make it.
Yes, but they're not going to give you credit for that one. They're going to give you credit for
Okay.
for the Rise of Skywalker Slave Leia.
Dude, there's some freak out there that wants some old lady Leia figure. I'm telling you. There's some.
I kind of do.
I'm one of those.
I'd go for like 6 of them. You know?
Yeah, I'm in for 6. Call me for 10. Okay. If I had to take the deal, dude, it depends on how bad the Rise of Skywalker Leia would be. But I'm really trying to think of.
We're talking bad as it gets, man. We're talking bad as it gets. We're talking like, you know, yeesh.
Honestly, man, if I had to take the deal, if I could get a Savaggio press in the line, like I'm talking about a legit like amazing fucking head sculpt,
right.
Like, it looks phenomenal, and I want the double-bladed lightsaber. Like I need the big stocky. I don't care if it's a deluxe. I will pay $33.99 for like somebody like a Wrecker style body or a Malgus, like a better stockier. I will pay deluxe price for that. If I could get fucking Savaggio press, dude, I would probably all right, put the fucking Stone Mando, whatever, I'll sign it. Savaggio press, damn it.
Can I get one autographed? I want an autographed one.
I will totally autograph it. I will totally fucking autograph it.
I'm telling you right now. So YouTube world, I'm telling you right now, I do not take that deal. If they came to Hyperdrive's channel and they were like, hey, I'd be like, oh no. You guys make whatever you want. I'm not doing it.
Let me ask you one real quick.
Yeah, what you got?
Bangers, dude.
Okay.
All right. I'm trying to find a good one that I wrote. All right. I'm going to do a serious one, then like a funny one or like a
okay. All right.
All right. So this is kind of a serious one. If the Black Series continued on for another 10 years, would it have to be credit collection or carbonized figures only? Which would you choose?
All right. So this is a crazy thing. So I am that guy.
Oh, you like these figures?
I am a credit collection lover, man.
Okay.
I'm a credit collection guy.
This is the easy question for you then.
So I got to be honest with you. And I know I'm in the minority with this, right? No doubt.
You are one of the collectors.
I absolutely dig. I love not the figures as much as that card art, that credit collection card art.
Okay.
And like, I got to be honest with you, man. Like, to me, one of the absolute silver sluggers of my collection is that Dark Trooper credit collection, man.
The Dark Trooper. I'm trying to think.
Yeah, it's really good. It almost looks like it was dipped into an oil slick.
Oh, it's like green and different colors.
Yes,
and stuff.
It's crazy. And so now I don't want to waste Hasbro's money on another wave of those. But if you were to say like pick one or the other, I'm all about the credit collection for that card art.
Yeah.
And I even have a list. I even have like a list of those bad Larrys ready to roll too. Like that's kind of crazy.
I feel like the credit collection too, like Carbonized had a couple of cool releases. Yeah. Like they just got carried away with it. With the credit collection, it's actually based off the art, the concept art of the episode, or like when they pitch the story or the episode on the story.
Oh, yeah.
It's like from the end credits of the episode on the art that they made. So it's like actually from something, whereas the Carbonized is just like they dip it into a shiny fucking plastic or paint, and then it's they call it a day.
So like, but you tell me, like, would you not bite on a credit collection Darth Maul, like with that sick art and everything? Like,
it would be pretty sweet.
I would buy that one. I would do a credit collection. What was the other one I was thinking about the other day? Oh,
I literally knocked one of my Death Troopers down, getting that one to show the side. I was like, fuck it, I'll get it later.
Yeah, right. I know that was weird. Yeah.
If there are several collector moment right there. You just a random noise.
Yeah, right. Like, so I don't know. So here, a lot of people. I don't know if there's any of the G.I. Joe people showing up for this tonight, or who will watch this. But one of my first collection videos, I talked about weird things that happen in my collection room. I don't know if you saw that or not, but every now and then something really strange happens in my collection room. And like I don't know if anybody is into the G.I. Joe classified line, but Scrap Iron is one of my favorite figures from there. He's one of the Cobra baddies, and he's got this really cool missile launcher. And one day I come down, and the missiles are missing from the missile launcher, like gone. I've never found them. I have absolutely no idea what happened to them. I didn't touch them. They're just gone. They're just poof, like into the netherworld or something.
Dude,
and nothing has happened crazy since then at all. But yeah, every now and then something falls off the shelf because that's just the nature of collecting.
The nature, dude. Yep.
But yeah, every now and then, man, something weird happens in here, and I something goes missing, and all my kids are grown up and gone, so I can't blame it on them. I don't know. I have no explanation for it, but I won't even speculate. But yeah.
Okay, so I got another one for you.
What you got? What you got?
Well, that one didn't. It's kind of cool to actually finally meet because in the community, the credit collection and carbonized collection get a lot of shit, but there is the minute. They sell for a reason. They keep doing them for a fucking reason because people like you are buying them, and like that's cool to me, man. If they can do a repaint of a figure and get a little more, couple dollars out of that mold,
yeah,
and people are going to buy it, why not do it? It's just extra money that Hasbro gets to make to put into new molds and better paint apps, etc., new accessories, whatever.
Yeah, like a. I'll just finish it with this, like a credit collection 2022 Stormtrooper or whatever it is. Oh my god, man, sign me up.
Yeah, isn't that the chromish one? The carbonized one? Is that like
did they already do his? I know they did a carbonized one.
They did, yes. Not a credit. My bad. Not a credit. Not a credit. They did the carbonized. My bad.
Anyways, I would still be selective about it, but yeah, I would put me down for a couple more of those. I like them.
Oh yeah, dude.
Anyways,
okay. So next question. Okay, another serious one. If the line ended tomorrow, what 5 figures would you want Hasbro to put out? Like Hasbro is like, hey y'all, we're unfortunately we have to shut down the line. We only have 5 more slots that are gonna go in production because they say it takes them about 18 months to get a figure. So that's about 2 years to get a figure done. So that you have 5 picks, 5 figures that Hasbro does. What are your 5 picks before they shut the line down?
Man, you're like reading my mind on this because I've already got my list ready to roll. And all right. So I'm a huge original trilogy guy, but I feel like we really mined the original trilogy with the exception of the Cantina. I think most everything from the original trilogy has been done. There are a few exceptions, and I'll get back to that. But I got 5, right? So I would want to see, and I know I'm on an island on this one, but I would love to see Naboo Royal Pilot with the orange flight jacket and everything. I would love to see the Naboo Royal Guard with that cool silver helmet, the ones that use the Ascension guns with Amidala.
Yes. Yep.
I would love to see those Royal Guards with face swapping, like the way that the Hoth Rebels did it, like faces, so you could have like a black one or faceplate, like so you have like different races and different colors and things like that. I would love to do that.
Throwing a Captain Panaka to go with it too.
Oh my god! So Panaka is on my list, as a matter of fact. Panaka's on my list. So I would say Naboo Pilot, Naboo Royal Guard. Panaka's an honorable mention. But then I would want 2 of the Jedi from the original episode 1. And I'm going to put 1 down. I would want Oppo Rancisis, the snake dude.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
I would want that one.
Good pick.
I would want that one.
Okay.
And then
maybe with chair on the Senate chair.
Oh yeah. Oh, definitely Senate chair. Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we could get into the whole Jedi Council thing. That could be the whole list right there. But my number one that I would want, I'm going to go into the Star Wars Cantina from A New Hope, and I'm going the Wolfman, Lax Sivrak,
Oh,
the original Wolfman Cantina patron.
I don't know if you've seen the leaks for this, but supposedly that species is in the Skeleton Crew.
Really?
And there's a figure. There was this guy leaking figures going on. There was a page called Garoba, and he posted pictures of the new IG-11 and like the new different pictures of like the new Mandalorian, like all in separate pieces, like broken up, like in production.
Okay, yeah.
Leaking a bunch of figures, dude. That's how we got the leak. Supposedly we're going to be getting a Savaggio press in the line, and I know I think you're a little more familiar with Legends than me. Isn't there like a Prince Zizor or Sizor?
So he would be on my top 10. Yeah.
They're doing a figure of him, I heard, dude. It's rumored. It's rumored. But supposedly that the Wolfman, there's going to be a species in that Acolyte show, and they actually are working. There was leaked figures of his. They basically matched it to the scene that's in the trailer, and it's the same like overlay, the same bandoliers and clothing, like. So we might be getting like a Wolfman. It might not be your pick, but we might get that species to lead. You never know.
Hey man, I would be so down for that. And then hey, customizers can turn it into the Cantina patron. It's easy. But
oh yeah, dude.
But there's so many. So if I had to pick 5, those would be the 5. But the Shadows of the Empire, where Prince Shizor is from, that came out probably when you were born. It was around 96, 97 when it came out.
95, yeah.
And that storyline. So I'm not a video games guy. I mean, I play, but like, I never got into video games. I sort of predate video games, other than like Mario. You know what I mean? Like, my kids play video games, but I'm not really a gamer. But having said that, Shadows of the Empire, there was an unbelievably good video game and an unbelievably good novel, and it's probably the greatest tie-in between episode 4, 5, and 6, between Empire Strikes Back and A New Hope. That is the most seamless, flawless, beautifully written. Dude, you gotta read it, man. I don't know if you're a reader, but that story is fantastic.
I used to be a real big reader. Like I used to be in a band, so I was reading a bunch of rock books like Ozzy and like Fieldy from Korn, different artists and stuff. But I started reading Dark Disciple and Master and Apprentice. That's the one with. Oh yeah, you probably read that one. I started reading in Dark Disciple with Dooku and Quinlan Voss and Ventress. Like, so I do like to read. I want to try to get it into audiobooks because I'm a very slow reader. Yeah, so I feel like if I'm physically watching I like to feel the pages and the act of reading, but if I feel like somebody was reading it to me, I would be able to get through the books faster,
So I don't know if they have an audiobook for Shadows of the Empire, but if they do, you got to get it, man. Because
I have to pick that up, dude.
You'll fall down that rabbit hole hardcore, man. Like that's great Star Wars right there.
Oh yeah, dude.
But I'm looking forward to that Shizor figure. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Did you ever read the Thrawn books? I haven't.
It's funny. I did. I read them all.
I heard that they're awesome. It's like Ascendancy, and it's kind of like it kind of leads into Heir of the Empire, right?
So yeah. So there's the 3 sequel books that Timothy Zahn wrote way back in the early 90s.
Yeah,
and those are like masterpieces, and it's the sequel we all wanted. That was the sequel we all wanted. Like, whatever you want to say about the sequel trilogy, I have armies of some of those figures because I like the designs, but I'm not a huge fan of the sequels. But if they did the Zahn trilogy, we'd be having an entirely different conversation about the trilogy.
Yeah, dude, totally.
But
do you want another question or?
Yeah, well, you want one, or do you want you give me another one? Give me another one.
I'll give you one more, and then you'll give me one. I'm trying to find more like.
All right.
Okay. Would you rather burn all your Hot Toys in a bonfire or sell your entire Black Series collection? Except
oh my God,
you can burn your Star Wars Black Series, but you can keep your Hot Toys. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Oh my God, that's a tough one. That
You can sell your collection and get more Hot Toys, keep your Hot Toys, or burn your Hot Toys and keep your Black Series collection.
okay. All right. So
I'm seeing your mind working because you
I
nailed
know
those.
that. Oh, Jesus Christ, man.
You nailed
Okay.
those ones.
So I would. All right. So I'm a diorama guy, right? And I like to build environments for my figures. I ain't building a 1/6 scale diorama. Okay. I would love to build dioramas for my 12-inch figs,
Yeah.
but that is not. It's not going to happen.
You would need a little warehouse or a shed to do that kind of shit.
Yeah, man. I mean, you would need just to fabricate it, let alone display it. You know.
Yeah, dude. Seriously.
So I guess I would. Oh.
Dude,
I guess I would get rid of the.
I got you.
I would burn the Hot Toys and save the Black Series.
No way.
There you go. I said it. All right.
Damn, dude. Because those Hot Toys, those are your Hot Toys down to the left or right of you.
Yes.
Dude, those are the proportion on those are so like theatrically correct, bro. They look fucking phenomenal, man.
So here's the thing. So before Hot Toys, there was Sideshow, and Sideshow was my jam back in the early to mid 2000s, and they were really good. They were definitely an upgrade above the Hasbro 12-inch figures, although I still love the Hasbro 12-inch figures. There's a part of me because my boys played with them, and so it is those are very special. And so the Sideshow were kind of like a bridge between the Hasbro mass market 12-inch figures with the cloth goods and all that, and then the Hot Toys. It was, if a Hasbro 12-inch figure is $30 and a Hot Toys is $400, the Sideshow was $125. Kind of like right in the middle or something,
Yeah.
It was the sweet spot. And those clones are the Sideshow clones. And to me, they are still superior to even the Hot Toys clones. And I know people are going to flame the comment section with that, but
I've heard a lot of good things about Sideshow, man. I've heard a lot of good things about Sideshow.
Well, yeah, and but of course, unfortunately, they're as expensive as the Hot Toys because but back in the day, I've owned those for a long time, and they were reasonable. You could buy each one of those for like $100 as opposed to
you're so bad at
or whatever. But So, but all right. Are you ready for the next question?
Yeah, right, let's go. Let's do it, man.
We've been at it for 1 hour, dude. 1 hour.
Damn, it doesn't feel like it, dude. It feels
does it? Okay, here we go. Let me see. Okay. Oh. Okay.
Oh, shit.
All right, here we go.
Shit.
In order for the United States to continue to receive Hasbro Black Series figures, Hasbro must eliminate all Black Series shipments to one of the following countries.
Ooh.
It's your job to decide which country will be cut off. You've looked at all the spreadsheets, and all of the data is identical. You must also conduct a press conference where you share your decision.
Holy shit.
All right. The countries are, you must select one of the following countries: Great Britain, Australia, Japan, or Mexico.
Okay. This one's kind of easy.
Okay.
And I hate to say it because I'm a huge Steve Irwin fan. But I got to go with Australia, dude, because Hasbro is well known for, especially ever since COVID, and even before sometimes with exclusives.
Yeah.
Their distribution is real wonky sometimes, man. And, for a multi-billion-dollar franchise corporation like Hasbro, their distribution should just be like, among top notch, man. You know, and I
Yeah.
felt obviously COVID fucked up a lot for many things, all different varieties of like work and commerce and stuff like that. But I just feel like, you know, there I actually seen somebody comment on a Black Series forum that I'm a part of the other day, and they were talking about they're from Australia and that they found a Black Series. I forget what store. I think like a local comic shop or something, because like they kind of went on to say like, they don't have like many GameStops and stuff like that. They don't get much Star Wars, but he
Right.
found Black Series figures. I forget what figures they were, but he was just super stoked that he found them, and he was talking about how it's hard to find figures in Australia. And even people across the pond, man, like people over in Europe and Britain, like they have a hard time getting figures too. Like when we get them in the States, they sometimes they don't see them for another 6 months to 8 months to a year sometimes, you know?
Oh, this guy must be living in Australia himself, because I haven't seen any new figgies in months. I saw the Mandalorian.
Fleet
What's
Commander?
that one? The new Mandalorian what?
Fleet Commander or Privateer?
Privateer. I've
Privateer.
seen the Privateer. That is the only recent figure I've seen since the Tusken Raider Chieftain. You know, and you know, it is what it is. So yeah, so hey, how do you like that fig? How do you like that one?
You know, the whole thing in the community is like they're kind of getting burnt out on like them selling these repaints of blue Mandos and stuff.
Right,
But
right.
you know, with the new mold, like just look at that holster, man. There ain't no like wonky strap coming over the side or anything. The proportions of the helmet and the body just look good. For some reason, I really like this white stripe over the helmet. It just makes it pop for
Yeah.
some reason. I like it, man. You know, and if they, like I said earlier, to you, I kind of mentioned it. If they need to kind of sling these out to make a little bit of extra money off these molds and give us cool repaints, I'm cool with that. And you know what this does? This just gives people like you and maybe even me, because I've started to kind of add my hand into some customizing, but this just gives more variety and fun and opportunity to customize, because then this is another figure that's sitting on the shelf like, oh well, the Death Watch Mando is starting to go up, because that, to me, dude, that's an underrated figure.
Absolutely.
This body is the Death Watch Mando. It's the same thing for the most. There's probably some differences. I wish I had it side by side. There's probably some differences, like with it looks like it's the same overlay, pretty much the same gauntlet mold and stuff like that, but I feel like there probably is some different pieces, perhaps.
You know, I like the figure. It's a good figure. There's nothing wrong with the figure at all. I think when I saw it on the shelf, it underwhelmed me only because I felt like I've seen it 4 times before.
Dude, they've been slinging these blue Mandos out.
Yeah.
So Costco Reeves, Bo-Katan, the Privateer, the Mandalorian, that Judge's Vintage Collection. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Shriek Hawks hyper?
I haven't seen it yet. No.
I don't think they're on the shelves yet, but you've seen like what they look like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
What do you think about those? Because they're like, dude, the paint scheme is all over the place.
Yeah, so I'm excited about it because I'm doing a whole series on customizing Mandalorians, and because I, for one, I'm a huge fan of the Mandalorian show. I'm a huge fan of the Book of Boba Fett, and you know, the crossover and the cross pollination with all the shows. The Mandalorians, I love having them on the shelf. It's like having stormtroopers on the shelf to me. Like if there's a stormtrooper, like if it's a good stormtrooper on the shelf, I'm going to buy it. If it's a good Mandalorian, I'm going to buy it because I know what I want to do with it. So it probably won't remain that way. Now the Death Watch Mandalorians, I kind of feel like that should go into the archive collection. It should be repackaged in the new box, because I kind of feel like I've never seen. There's a lot of Death Watch Mandalorians in the universe. There's a lot on eBay. I have never seen a Death Watch Mandalorian in the wild. I've only ever seen them on eBay.
Yeah, me too, dude. I've never seen one in the wild ever.
Yeah. So to me, it's like, okay,
so
people
weird.
are buying them.
Yeah, like it's just so, it's just so weird, dude. Like, how are we finding them on these eBay accounts and like Amazon and stuff like that? Like, most of the time, like, because obviously Amazon allows third-party sellers, but like, why aren't these? And obviously, we stay in different states or whatever, but like, even where I'm at, I've never seen a Death Watch Mando on a GameStop or Walmart shelf or like Target.
Never.
It's so
Right.
weird. It's so weird.
Yeah. So, I feel like this particular figure, the Privateer, is kind of like the Death Watch 2.0. So I know what I can do with it, and I'm gonna buy the hell out of that figure because it's gonna be changed into other things. So I'm thankful for it. I'm definitely thankful for it.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But but all the Mandalorians, particularly, like I really want a female Mandalorian. A generic female Mandalorian.
That's what's cool about that Shriek-Hawk pack, because they have a male and a female Mandalorian.
Right.
And then what's the single release? I think it's a Target exclusive. It's the what is that? It's just a single release, but it's totally it's a major kit bash, and the paint is also all over the place.
Yeah, I'm not. I know what it is, but I'm not familiar with the name yet. They're just.
I can't remember, but even the 2-pack, the one with the female and the male, the Shriek-Hawk 2-pack.
Yeah.
Just to see them doing some kit bashes, and like I said, that just gives them an opportunity to make even more money off these molds and stuff like that.
Yeah, right. And and if you don't like it, you don't have to buy it. And so that's the nice thing about it.
Yeah, it's that simple.
Yeah. But all right. Well, are you ready for another one?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Let's go.
I actually have a couple of regular ones. Let's go with a regular one. Let's see.
Yeah, let's do it, dude.
Here's a regular question with a little twist, you might say. All right. If you were a Black Series action figure on a shelf, what figure would you want to stand next to?
Am I a Star Wars character, or am I like
you are a Star Wars Black Series figure of your choosing, any figure you want, but you got to spend eternity on a shelf staring at somebody right next to you. Who are you picking?
Okay, I would probably pick. Oh, dude. I would probably have to go with either. To me, oh, dude, I don't know, man.
Now remember, you got to spend your life on this shelf. So, it's
it would either be Dagobah Luke, because I'm thinking about like articulation, like how am I going to be able to move, like when my collector owner walks out the room and like Toy Story shit.
Exactly, right?
Dagobah Luke or Qui-Gon, because that's my boy, and I used to have long hair, and I used to put my hair like that because of Qui-Gon.
All right.
I would say Qui-Gon, and I would stand next to it's a Star Wars character, Black Series figure, right?
Yeah.
Because I was gonna say, have you seen X-Men '97, dude? Goblin Queen.
Oh yes, I have.
Gorgeous freaking figure, dude. That thing is badass.
All right, you can pick that. I'll let you pick that if you want.
I feel like I need to pick a Star. You know what? I'm gonna pick a Star Wars character, and I would say Padawan Ahsoka, because that figure is just the photo reel on that. How they took it from a live action character and made it like real, like they give it like a live action appeal to it.
Right.
It's a beautiful figure. The articulation is really sweet on it, and if I had to look at something, that's not a bad figure to look at for eternity.
So I'm gonna see your Ahsoka, and I'm gonna raise you Isla Sakura.
Oh, dude, that is a nice figure, and that's some pretty photo where like her face, the way they do the lips and the eyes, that is a nice figure to look at.
And I'm thinking, if I'm a Black Series figure and the Toy Story lights come on, I've got a shot. We got a shot at that. You know what I mean?
Give me those like you, girl.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Bro, did you
with that? But hey, man, that's cool. Yeah. So I would have to say probably Isla Sakura, or another one is probably like man, if I could be on a shelf with a figure, I'm going.
It's kind of, yeah, you got to kind of search memory banks a little bit.
I'm going Return of the Jedi slave Leia.
That's a okay. That's an interesting pick, dude.
Right? I mean.
Could you
I don't know.
imagine if they re-released that in the Black Series, dude? Like with the modern day photo reel and like modern articulation, which it's not like it needs butterfly joints or anything. Would it be cool? Yeah, but like just
Do you
imagine
think they would
that.
in this day and age, in this climate? Would you think they'd do that?
Man, they because they'd have to call her what would they, the Hut Slayer Leia or Jabba Slayer Leia? They can't. I think Disney is just definitely dude. They changed the name of the Slave One to the Fire Spray. Like I'm all about respecting. Like I
know,
and I want to respect that. But like, dude, this is Star Wars, man. It's not meant in a fucking malicious way or in any regard to that. This is just fucking sci-fi shit, dude. But Disney to stay away from it. Like I get it because like that IP is just so fucking huge, dude. And they want to avoid any kind of dragging their feet through any kind of shit and making tracks. I understand that. It is a child-based company, and as George Lucas has said, Star Wars is it's directed towards children. But obviously, people like us who are hardcore grew up with it. We come up with our own little headcanon, and we get great shows that put the little in-betweens that make it feel more real and give it like lore and like give us lessons in philosophy and religion and politics. Like that's the cool thing about Star Wars is like it's escapism. We get to like fucking leave this world that we we have all these problems and stresses and whatever just to go into their version, that world, that galaxy of their stresses and problems and politics. And it's just like it's a weird way of escapism, man, but like it's interesting. Art imitates life, and Star Wars, George Lucas had that in mind when he was making those fucking movies, man.
Well, right, and the fact that Anakin started out his life as a slave is kind of an interesting nod to that, and rising above and breaking through all those barriers and everything, and so I personally feel it's a little bit unfortunate that they've taken some of those things away and rename those things because, I understand, I like you say, I completely understand Disney's philosophy on it, and I don't hate them for it.
Yeah,
but it's a little bit unfortunate because I don't think there was anything inherently wrong with those names to begin with. You know?
I agree. Like I said, no malicious intent, just literally part of the story and part of
yeah. All right. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah, dude. Let's go.
All right. Let's do it. Okay. Okay.
If I'm looking away from the camera, I'm just texting back and forth with my wife. I promise I'm listening.
Yeah, that's okay. Well, speaking of your wife, what a great segue this is.
Okay.
So, you are a heap of plastic pellets about to be injection molded. If you go to the left, you'll be injected molded into the future Black Series figure of your dreams.
Okay.
But if you do so, your wife, who is also a heap of plastic pellets, will be sent to the right and injected molded into a Jabba the Hutt. Do you send her to this horrible fate to achieve your dreams as a plastic pellet?
This is deep shit here. No, I couldn't do it. Dude, it sounds corny, but me and you have actually talked.
Oh yeah.
Like my wife is literally my everything, dude. She is my best friend. I grew up with her. She's just like, so no, you know what? I'd sacrifice myself to be a fat Jabba the Hutt piece of shit. Because I'm about there already. I'm just kidding. No, I would sacrifice myself, dude. I'd have to take the fall for that one, dude. I'd have to be Jabba.
All right. Excellent. Yes. Yeah. I would probably, after 26 years of marriage, I'd be like, honey, guess what? You're going to Jabba Town.
You want another one, man?
Yeah. What you got?
I think, let's see. Okay. All right, this is kind of this is just I don't need to know like the monetary value or anything, but like
Right.
Let's make this like kind of a two-part. My wife just texted me talking about, I think I would make a cute Jabba the Hutt. You would, baby. You would make a sexy Jabba the Hutt.
Yes, you would, Mrs. Stoned. Yes, you would.
Jabba the Huttette, actually.
Yes, that's right.
I can't snap, but just imagine me doing the head roll. But okay, so all right, two-part. What's your most valuable? And like I said, you don't have to mention monetary. But what is your most valuable, like costly item in your collection, and what is your most like sentimental, like your most loved, like most personal item in your collection?
Okay. All right. So most valuable in my collection is probably, I own a couple of original Kenner Yak Face figures. So I don't know if you're familiar with the Kenner line, but Yak Face was a figure from the Kenner line from Jabba's palace. Yak Face was a character from the palace, and I own 2 original Yak Face figures. And
comes across the stream, we need Yak Face in Black Series.
Yeah, we do. Totally. Yes.
Dude, we need him in the Black Series. Okay,
I'll tell you what. You know what else? I would love that, and I would love both. I would love the original Kenner style and the actual movie style, because they're both a little bit different.
Dude, imagine a 2-pack. Like
right, exactly. Yes.
3/4, and like you get okay, let's do another fun question real quick. Let's say if Black Series was like, all right, y'all, we're going to rebrand the line. It's still going to be Black Series, but we're merging TVC and Black Series. From now on, it's going to be $45, but you're going to get a 2-pack. You're going to get a 6-inch version of this character and a Kenner-styled either retro or vintage collection 3 3/4 inch. You get a 2-pack of the 3 3/4 and the 6-inch version of the character. Would you pay that? $45-$50 per.
I think I probably would. I probably would, because I do collect both the 4-inch and the 6-inch lines.
Yeah.
So if you could kill 2 birds with 1 stone like that and do it really well, like when Hasbro's on top of their game, I think I would do that. Yeah, I would.
I know I already I'm interrupting your 2-part question, but
no.
Real quick, I've noticed something about, and I'm not going to shit talk vintage collection because I literally have vintage. I have 3 3/4 inch figures from when me and my brother used to play with. Like I have me and my brother's figures. I have new ones off eBay, yada yada. I lost my train of thought. I was going somewhere with that.
You were talking about you weren't going to shit on vintage collection.
Yeah, I wasn't going to shit on vintage collection. Oh, I totally lost my train of thought, dude. Damn it. Well, I had something really, kind of profound to say.
Well, I have something to say about vintage collection.
Yeah, shoot, dude. Shoot, man.
So, a lot of people who've been collecting vintage collection for the last 15 years might know what I'm talking about. So, I collect vintage collection, but I'm much more discerning when it comes to what I buy these days across the board, because I've got other things that in my life that are happening, and so vintage collection has kind of taken a back seat lately. But one of the main reasons is because, in my opinion, I feel like the quality of the plastic, especially with the accessories, has really taken a nosedive. There's this real rubbery, bendy quality to a lot of the guns, and some of the parts even of the figures themselves, like the legs are rubbery, and I don't like it. I like that much harder, and I know that it adds to the articulation of the figure, the softer plastic, but I prefer. I guess I'm one of those people who likes sort of a balance between the quality of the plastic and the sculpt. I would almost sacrifice the soft plastic for the articulation for a better quality plastic with less articulation, because the soft plastic really bothers me. I just, every time I take a vintage collection figure out of the pack, the legs are warped, the gun is warped. Like it doesn't, and when you heat it up, it doesn't go back into its original position. it's just a lesser plastic. You would agree?
I do, man, and I feel like, like I said, I don't have many TVC figures, but I've gotten lucky with the ones that I have because I've heard a lot of people have the same concerns as you, like bendy rifles and stuff like that. I have a scout trooper, so he's got his little defender pistol or whatever. I forget
Right.
the name of it right now, but so I've gotten lucky with mine, and I also have the Mando's N1 Starfighter, and that is a fantastic. That's much more of a newer vintage collection figure.
Yeah.
And thank you for saying this and doing this little segue, because you reminded me of my question or my statement from earlier. I feel like a lot of the time when I see TVC collectors is they mainly collect TVC, but then I see Black Series collectors and they have kind of a mix. They have they have 6-inch and 3 3/4, and now there are some cool TVC channels out there, but I feel like a lot of the time the TVC community can be a little bit more toxic.
Oh yeah.
Then okay. I was just curious how you felt about that, because I know you've been collecting 50 years, man. You grew up with the OT, the original trilogy. So like, I just wanted to know your opinion on that, because some people were, when it comes to TVC character selection and play sets, it's the ultimate. But like, then you got Black Series and you got a good character selection, but it's just a more definitive character selection, if that makes sense,
So yeah, so that's a really good thread to follow. So in my opinion, the TVC is a great line because of the world building element to it. You're never going to get there with the Black Series, because the Black Series, the scale just sort of precludes any sort of diorama, official diorama from Hasbro. I mean, we've gotten a few ships, we've gotten a few environments and things like that, but for the most part, the scale of the 6-inch line is just sort of inhibits that ability to world build. Yeah. So the vintage collection fills that gap. So you can come in and on a much tighter budget world build on the vintage collection.
Oh, totally, dude, totally.
So the other thing too is when you're talking about building dioramas with a 3D printer. So let's tie it back to the 3D printing. Whether you have a filament or whether you have a resin printer, that stuff is expensive and it takes a long time and it takes many attempts to get something right.
Yeah.
So if you're going to world build, you're going to world build in the 4-inch scale, because it's just more cost effective and it's going to be more advantageous for anybody on a budget. Now, I mean, I've got a household budget, and I think most people do. I know there are some people who, and YouTube tends to do this, and this is one thing that I want to kind of focus on for a moment is I'm on a budget. I've got like a life and a house, and I've got cars that need to be maintained, and
that's right, man.
Things, and so I don't have unlimited funds. Like I can spend about every 2 weeks. I can spend about $50 on this hobby, and because I have a wife and I have to Venmo my kids money who are in the Navy all over the world and all kinds of stuff that gets in the way.
Yeah.
And so with all that said, if I want to world build, I'm going to world build as small as possible.
Yeah.
Because it's just going to be more financially responsible for me. Yeah. And so that's why the Micro Galaxy collection is great, because I can reduce it further still. So I've almost cut the vintage collection out of. Right? I know, right? I mean, that thing
got yours today. I'm so glad you found one, dude.
So yeah, I just found it today, and I'm doing a video series on how to build a diorama for that, for people who are interested. But
real quick, Hyper. I seen we got the 7 viewers earlier. I see we got 5 now. I just want to say thank y'all for watching. We can't see the comments right now, but we really appreciate y'all tuning in and listening to us and hanging out. I kind of said this in my post. We're kind of just a couple of cave dudes learning this technology thing. So bear with us. Hopefully one day we'll figure out how to reply and talk with y'all in chat and stuff like that. But thank y'all for watching. My bad.
Is there anything anybody wants to know? Who's watching right now? Anything who,
can you see the comments anywhere, Hyper?
I can't. I don't have access to it. Hold on, let me see.
I wish I could. I don't see anything either, man. Oh, do we have 98 comments?
98 comments? Wow.
Holy shit. 98, dude. I am so sorry. I'm just now seeing y'all's comments.
You want to take a moment and just answer them?
Yeah, man, dude. Timbo Toys. Why so serious? What's up, everybody? Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, I'm honored. I'm truly honored.
I apologize, y'all. Hey, let's address the chat real quick, Hyper. So,
and also real quick, is there anybody who's a GI Joe person who tuned in tonight?
Dude, oh my goodness. Thank y'all so much, man. Y'all are going off in chat, man. I apologize, everybody. Dude, we got Brian Myers in here, Timbo Toys, Why So Serious, Microsoft Sam Harris. Mando, do you ever get any Indiana Jones figures? I actually do. I have 2 Indiana Jones figures. I have the Temple of Doom version and the what is it? The Ark, Raiders of the Lost Ark version.
Oh yeah.
I'm so sorry. Y'all's comments, man.
Let me see if I can get it up there.
I feel like Filament handles the bigger and less detailed things well. Resin seems to do detail. 100%, Timbo. Filament is definitely better for detailed things, and Hyper's a lot more educated on that. Why so serious? We're just now seeing this, man. I apologize. I can see y'all's comments now. Brian Myers, it's so dope to see y'all there saying hey to me and Hyper.
What's up, everybody? How you doing, man?
So serious said unsub coming.
Unsub coming? Oh no. No, please.
That was after the female Boba Fett. He said, I saw some really sexy female Boba Fett cosplays. And that could be a thing for me.
Right.
Y'all, I'm so sorry we're just now getting to chat. We're like I said, we're figuring this out, man.
Yeah, this is our first live stream. Just if you like what you see, we're gonna get way better at this. We are like Fred Flintstone and Barney Rubble right now, you know.
Thank y'all so much for this. This is so cool to see the chat this active. Why So Serious was chiming in talking about the Shriek Mandalorian 2-pack. He said that it's great. The Mandalorian also brought Star Wars back after the sequels. So serious, I totally agree.
Yeah, 100%.
Timbo said Mando was a breath of fresh air, 100%. They were talking about custom capes here. Brian Myers, Lazy Jawa came in. So y'all, I'm so sorry. We're just now seeing y'all's comments. Lazy Jawa, what's up, man? They're talking back and forth in chat.
Yeah, please, everyone, thank you so much. This is cool.
Why So Serious said the last diorama you showed, which is probably your Geonosis, said it is so beautiful, pure art. Cannot believe I could do this, man. You can do anything you set your mind to, man. I'm telling you, Why So Serious? When Hyper starts uploading these tutorials, man, me and you're gonna be watching them together, dude. Just watch those tutorials.
And the other thing too, just real quick, for the comments, if the dioramas are going to be Star Wars related, and then I'm going to do another section for GI Joe related and even Marvel related. Okay, so yeah.
Hey, Why So Serious and Timbo Toys said we are all here. Yo, y'all, thank y'all so much for tuning.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
Y'all are making us giddy, man. This is so fucking awesome, dude.
Honestly, I'll tell you what. To everybody in the comment section right now, like, it is an honor. Like, I never thought I would be actually doing this. And
do you see anywhere where you can click on the comments at all, man?
I don't, unfortunately. Hold on, let me see.
Why So Serious said, I'm not a G.I. Joe guy. Sorry, not a big fan. So serious. I've had this conversation with Hyper before. I didn't grow up with G.I. Joe either, but I still respect it. And I kind of always watch Hyper stuff just because.
Well, there's going to be some good stuff coming on both the G.I. Joe and the Star Wars and the Marvel front. So hang in there.
All right, now I can see y'all's comments. Okay, so we can – I feel better now. Now we can kind of interact with y'all because that's what we want, man. We want to talk with y'all like –
oh, yeah, definitely.
Not only spread our channels, but also just –
oh, wait a minute.
Man. Can you see comments? I would love if you could see the comments because people might ask you questions too, and I feel bad because I don't want to constantly interrupt you, you know?
Right. So,
Timbo
oh, wait a
says-
minute. Hold on now. Let me see. Okay.
Timbo, I've seen your comic shop, man. I meant to actually comment on it. That
I'm
is
on it now. Okay.
fucking, yes, awesome. Timbo, your comic shop looks awesome, dude. I actually went to comment on the video. I've seen you uploaded a couple. It looks awesome, dude. Those little fine details you do of the actual comics, and it's crazy how you get those pictures to fit on there, man. Really awesome job, Timbo. Like I said, I'm gonna try to comment on your stuff next time, dude. Oh, my wife just made me a cup of coffee real quick, and it kind of heats up.
Oh, there you go. Yes.
Phidias on air, got Yoda and shit. It's kind of hard
Nice.
to see. Got Chewie, Jabba up there. So thank you for the coffee, baby. I love you.
So is anybody ready for another uncomfortable question for Stoned? Are we ready?
Let's get uncomfortable.
All right, here we go.
Let's go, dude. Yo, I'm so happy I can see the chat now, man.
Okay, so I don't know if everybody knows this, but I think probably do. If you watch Stone's channel, you'll know this. But Stone is a huge prequels fan, right?
Yes,
and I am too. But Stone definitely takes the cake on that. So this is this is a ridiculous question. All right. So, all right, Stone. Here you go. Lucasfilm wants to reimagine the prequels to appeal to the modern audiences. Your job is to market the Black Series merchandise with YouTube ads that pop up in the middle of videos.
Okay, whoa. Start this from the beginning.
Okay. So Lucasfilm wants you to market Black Series merchandise.
Okay.
For the reimagined prequels. Okay, so like in other words, it's the prequels, but they're hiring Stone Mandalorian channel to market the prequel merchandise for Black Series.
Okay.
And the way they're going to do this is in a series of YouTube ads that pop up in the middle of people's videos, right? Those annoying pop-up ads, okay, that you almost always click through, but there's going to be you doing it, right? How do you prevent viewers from hitting the skip button? And there's a plot twist. You can't speak in the commercials.
Oh, dude.
All right. So in other words, you're going to be the pop-up YouTube guy for the Black Series prequels. So that's your jam. You're going to be marketing the prequel Black Series.
Okay.
Right? How do you prevent people from hitting skip with no English language?
Okay. So I would hire. So I can reach out like resources and stuff, right?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want, man.
Hasbro's giving me money to do whatever I want.
Whatever you have a budget. Yeah, right. But yeah.
Okay, so I would probably reach out to some awesome photographers, videographers, maybe like specifically some action figure photographers because there's some amazing fucking work out there.
All right, there you go.
I would get like real legit with it, and I would make sure to use specifically prequel music, of course, like fucking Duel of the Fates.
Right.
I would want to use video and maybe even some stop motion, perhaps. I don't know if you've ever seen Big Bad Toys little like ads and they have stop motion. I would want to do something recreating like different scenes of the movies with those figures. So that, and I would just play the music and be like, coming to the Black Series, prequel focused subline, or like the rebranding, like prequel focus, whatever. I felt like that would be the way to do it and psych people in. Like, dude, do scenes like from the pod race, like where we throw figures like Foden Bede, the announcer,
right.
Sebulba, of course I'm drawing a fucking blank right now because I fucking love Phantom Menace, dude. Dude, Watto. I want fucking Watto so fucking bad.
Yeah, me too, man. Seriously,
dude.
Although I will say, Brian Myers had a hell of an idea with the Padme nudes. That'll do it. That'll do it.
I just seen that.
Yes, exactly. Right.
Natalie Portman
and Jar Jar mascot. Absolutely. Yeah. You know.
Oh yeah, why so serious? Toy photography would be my tape because I'm getting that's cool.
Oh yeah.
It's cool. A little shout out to Why So Serious. He's just starting up his channel too. He's been very supportive of me and Hyper. He's starting.
Why So Serious has an awesome. By the way, check out his channel, everybody, because he has a really cool. There's some really cool customs that he's done. So,
Batman dudes.
So seriously, there's one in particular, the Mandalorian with the soft goods that he did was on point, man. Like seriously, that's a good figure, good custom figure.
Hey Hyper, I know we already have a which shout out to your buddy Rob. Not sure if he's watching or even if he's not, still shout out to him. He
Oh yeah.
The logo up for us. How would you feel about Jar Jar being our mascot? That's kind of weird. I think we might have to settle on a character, but I like the little draw you threw, the little vote you threw in. Why So Serious? Because that figure, that's another figure you got me on Zori Bliss. Jar Jar is so fucking underrated, dude. That figure is fucking amazing, man.
Hey, speaking of, so let's throw this out to the comments. Everybody who's in the comments right now, what is your favorite Black Series figure and your worst? The least favorite Black Series figure. I'd love to see what this is, and let's not do like newness bias. Let's go back over the last 10 to 12 years, and I'm asking over the span of the last 10 to 12 years, what is your favorite and your least favorite figure? I'm very interested.
See if anybody comes back with anything.
Okay, Jar Jar. Yep, absolutely, man. Why So Serious? I definitely agree. I'm looking forward to a Gungan soldier too, like a Gungan warrior.
Dude, yes, I want that so bad.
And a Captain Tarples. I'm all about it.
No, it can be even if it's a figure that you don't have. Why So Serious? Just any kind of figure. You don't have to have it.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, any figure you've seen, any figure that you love, and any figure that you hate.
Brian Myers said the Walgreens General Kenobi with the kind of like the 2D Tarkovsky clone.
Oh yeah. That's a great figure. I have that one.
People love that figure, man. Dude, Brian, you're gonna get mad at me, man. I don't like that figure. I say that loosely because it looks fucking sick. He just doesn't have He doesn't have the beautiful Obi-Wan Kenobi mullet. He doesn't have the right hairstyle, dude.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my only pick. Articulation is dated, but let's see. Timbo said I'm really liking it. So, dude, I love that figure. Beautiful, beautiful fucking figure.
2020 Stormtroopers, Timbo Toys, absolutely, man.
Oh yeah, I'll go back to you. Why So Serious? Yeah, dude. To me, that is probably in the top 5. Dude, I think the Battle Droid might be in the top 3 best Black Series figure, but this 2020 Stormy is got to be in the top 10, maybe top 10 for sure. No.
Oh yeah.
Going back to Why So Serious, Death Watch Mando, dude. I agree. That is such a good fucking mold, and the articulation is great on it. Perfect. Yeah, we were just talking about that earlier. Perfect for customizing. Yep.
Brian Myers, I agree with you on General Kenobi. I'm gonna depart from Stone's opinion on this. I absolutely dig that figure. And not only that, but the hunt for that figure. I don't know if you remember, but the hunt for that figure was intense. Like I remember going to Walgreens and physically ripping that figure out of someone's hands. Shin Hati. Yeah, I don't own that figure, but I know that a lot of people have a lot to say about Balin Skull and Shin Hati. Yeah. eBay. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Most of us did resort to eBay. I was lucky enough to be able to find one. There's a Walgreens in my area that was like Ghost Town City, and even still I had to fight a guy for it.
Going off of this real quick, talking about Shin Hati and stuff, man, with those figures, they see, this is so cool, man, getting to bounce off you guys in chat and just talk with y'all. This is so fucking awesome. But like as I was saying, like I feel like they really rushed those figures out, man, because there is no reason that Shin Hati should have been so tall and that Balin was underscaled. Like they
seriously,
they should. Yeah. Like, why would they rush? I get it's cool having them out at the same time as the show or recently after, but like I would rather wait a year and get it the right way, to be honest.
Right? Exactly.
People shouldn't be having to buy a Riva and swap the thighs out onto a bale. You should have to buy another figure to make another figure better.
And with the goddamn cloak the first time too, right? Like I don't want to buy the same thing twice.
Dude, it's just such a scummy move. And Out of the Basement Boys were talking about this too, man. Like you're gonna release a single release figure, like as is with the lightsabers, a single release, and then like months later, not 6 months, like it was like 2 months, dude. Release it with the cloak.
Yeah,
it's just kind of scummy, man. You know, because then it's kind of the face to the collectors who show up for those two figures to show Hasbro, like, yeah, we want this new media. This is the new media we want, and what you pay for with your dollar, that's like your vote with your wallet. You know,
right? And you know, the thing is now I really liked the Ahsoka show for the most part. I honestly, and I'm a zombies guy. I'm a Walking Dead disciple, so like I really love the whole zombies thing.
Okay.
But, you know,
you
got to get it right. You got to get these figures right. You got to get Shin Hati, the scale right. You got to get particularly Baylan Skull right. You got to get that scale right. And for the love of God, we already have a perfectly functional Stormtrooper mold. What is taking so long? Where are our zombie troopers?
Yeah, dude.
You know, like we need to get the ball rolling on that because I'm there for that. I will have 2 shelves of zombie troopers.
Dude, have you seen the Enoch and Night Trooper?
Oh my god,
dude, it looks fucking cool, man. New sculpting. The King Stuki or it's the Japanese like art where like when something pottery's broken and they seal it back together with gold.
Yes,
it's called King Stuki or something, or King Stuki or something like that. But that knight armor. A Night Trooper armor, all the cracks and stuff were blended with gold, and it had the red ribbons around it. Like very obviously, we know Star Wars like is very much Japanese samurai inspired. Like was a huge fan of Asian culture.
Hey, Timbo Toys. So you really like the Republic security droid?
Yeah.
Stay tuned because I've just done 4 customs. I've rip dyed them in different colors. So if you like that type of thing. Later this week, I release the custom videos on Fridays. So this coming Friday, I'm going to do a couple of security droids that I've rip dyed, which I hopefully you like.
Oh yeah, the 2-pack is great, but they should have made the Enoch a single. I agree. So serious. I think that would have been a much better idea, just to make that 2-pack more like wanted. You know, that would have made it an official army builder pack. That's a good point. So serious, yeah.
Definitely. The one thing that I can't stand about Hasbro doing is, you know, they gave us the C-3PO and Super Battle Droid 2-pack without a regular Battle Droid head. Like, come on, you know, like,
dude, yeah.
I would have paid an extra $3 for the head for the Battle Droid. You know,
yeah, bro, 100%, man. You know, like. Oh, that could have been such a cool 2-pack, man. Because imagine because you know it already has the battle damage and the weathering as it's scene specific to Geonosis on the battle the arena when that one battle droid falls over on 3PO on the battle when he's on the battle B1 body. He's got the mark that knocks him down on the back of the figure. Like it's scene specific, you know.
Right.
It could have been such a sick 2-pack if they just gave us an alternate head, man. That would have been so awesome. I agree, dude. Totally agree.
Well, hey, so I've got another question for you, man. Do you want to fire one at me, or do you want another one?
Go ahead and shoot another one, man. Yeah.
All right, ready? So I got another one. Here we go. You are a brand new Black Series Clone Trooper action figure, and you've made your way into a shipping box along with all the other clones. Just to break the ice, you turn to one of the clone troopers in another package. His name is Larry, and you say, "Hey, my buddy Sheldon got shipped to country blank, and I really don't want to get shipped there." What country did you just say?
Oh, dude.
So you're a clone trooper, you're in a box with all the other clone troopers, you're a solid case of clone troopers. Hey, Larry just got shipped to country X. I don't want to get shipped there either. What country are you not? Do you not want to go to?
I love how you like give it to me in this like fucking like game host format, and then you break it down for me because you know I'm stoned right now.
I know. Hey, let's
Break it down for me in like a. I
I'm
love
4 bourbons in myself.
Yeah, dude, I love your format, dude. Oh, dude, I don't want to seem any kind of way, but I would say I probably wouldn't want to go to. I'd hate to say, I hate to keep shitting on Australia because it's like.
Why so? Well, listen. Why so serious? Says, don't you dare say Germany.
Hey, dude, I can't. You know, I got a lot of Celtic and like Norwegian in my blood. So we're us Vikings. My Viking blood. We're basically y'all Germans that just conquered a different part. So I won't say German, man. I know you already have a hard enough time. Like I said, man, I have to say Australia, dude, because I would imagine being in those fucking containers for that long, just stuffed inside a box, would not be fun.
Right. Okay. All right.
I have to say Australia, dude, because like, who knows?
So Stone Mando clearly has something against Australia at this point. Like,
all right, man, against Australia, mate.
Dude, they're not going to let you off the plane, man.
I know.
Like, they're going to stop you. Hey, by the way, so someone just asked, okay, Tim Toys.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
Yeah. So it's just called Hyperdrive Collections. And please, and again, you know what? Here's the other thing. One of the reasons why I really like Stone and his channel, it's kind of the same philosophy as me. We are happy if you subscribe. We're of course, obviously, but we don't beg. I don't beg. And I'm never going to beg for subscriptions or likes or any of that stuff. If you feel inclined, by all means, subscribe. But I'm never going to ask for money. I'm never going to ask for your devotion or anything like that. And, Stone and I talked about that a lot. We want people who are just really into this to subscribe and be part of this because, nobody's got time for nonsense, and so if you like what we do, if you like what Stone does, subscribe to him. If you like what I do, subscribe to me, but don't feel obligated to subscribe to me under any circumstances because the small community is really where things thrive, in my opinion, and it grows in accordance with what we do. So I want to bring everybody along, slowly and sort of organically. Okay. So again, if you like what you see on my channel, subscribe. If not, maybe come back another time and do it. What do you say, Stone?
I think I pretty much share the same sentiment. Like I said, we've talked a lot and had these kind of not repeat conversations because we have a tendency and I think we're kind of developing a habit together. We're really filling each other out and we're really kind of getting to know each other by doing this and getting each other's taste of Star Wars. So yeah, I agree with the sentiment. Like, don't feel we're not going to do subscribe and try to like buy subscribers and like force y'all like, oh, why haven't y'all commented? Like that shit just gets a little too crazy. We want y'all to be here. And like, if you like the stuff, you like it. That's great. And we're going to support you too. Like, I've gone on so serious and I've even looked at some of Timbo's stuff, man. And we got to support each other, man. And who knows, dude, like, and the better we get at this, man, why so serious? And Timbo, we might have y'all on as guests or something, dude. Hopefully this rolls into something a little bit bigger because, dude, Hyper, me and you were talking, man. We were just going to do a live stream and talk about, like, what got us into collecting, share each other's channels. Like, I don't think we expected to try to make a show out of it like we were trying to do now. Like, we have a whole logo made up and everything, dude. Like,
right.
Me and Hyper, dude, we don't know each other, man. We found each other through the love and passion for Star Wars on each other's channels. So, like, we're just guys that love Star Wars, man. Appreciate the mindset. Yeah, dude, of course.
Yeah. Stone and I were talking about how, like, there's nothing worse. There's nothing better than finding a band that hasn't made it famous yet. And there's nothing worse than when that band goes famous and then you lose sight of them. And so, like, not that we're a band or anything like that, but like, I love being a small channel and I love being affiliated with small channels. That doesn't mean we don't want to grow, but what it means is we filter. It's like a filter, and so if that's really kind of where I'm coming from. So be that as it may, that's kind of what I want to portray tonight. So
I was going to say something too. Hyper said something about, yeah, you can subscribe if you like it. If you collect them Happy Meal TVC, don't subscribe to me. I'm I'm joking. I'm just talking shit. I'm sorry.
Oh my God, Happy Meal TVC.
Hyper, I might get a little wild sometimes, dude. I will try to contain myself a little bit, but no pressure again.
Happy Meal TVC. That's a hashtag right there, right?
No, man, TVC is cool, dude. I'm just talking shit.
All right, hey, throw me a question. What you got? What you got in the question category here?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Let me get back to Oh, wait, real quick. Your most valuable item and your most your personal item.
So my most valuable item, I think I said that was the 2 original Kenner Yak Face figures, and it's 2 of them. Most people don't have any of those. I've got 2 of them. I'm very fortunate, and great. But here's the thing about owning that stuff. You have to be really careful about displaying it, and you have to make sure that when you go on a vacation or something, like, I have my collection insured, but it's almost.
I might need to pick your brain about that one day, Hyper, because I don't have mine, and my wife mentioned it to me before. So sorry to interrupt. Continue.
No. So here's the thing, like. And I know that there's a website called Rebel Scum, and you might be familiar with Rebel Scum. It's a collector website, but their logo is collect to collect. And I really, really, I couldn't agree more in the mission statement, because if you collect for value, then you're going to collect things that are not of importance to you, or you're chasing $1 or $1 assignment. So in a sense, what you're doing is you're buying something today for a return tomorrow. And I absolutely hate that thought pattern, because I don't want to have a bunch of stuff I don't care about on my shelves. That's not of interest to me. I do happen to care about the Yak Face figures. So, that's its own thing. But I don't need 12 of them. I've got 2 of them, and I'm happy for that. I would much rather buy a bunch of peg warmers, if I'm being completely honest with you, and turn those into figures that I like, or turn those into an idea that motivates someone else. I like that type of a thing. And if you follow my G.I. Joe channel, I know this is not a G.I. Joe centric thing, but what I do is I buy all the peg warmers that I can possibly find, and I turn them into other characters on the G.I. Joe line. And to me, that's far more interesting than spending $125 on one figure and then putting it among all the others and being like, okay, great, now what's the next hunt? So for me, what is my most valuable Star Wars collectible?
Yeah.
Well, it's the Yak Face. My favorite is probably the vintage TIE Fighter. It's probably just the vintage TIE Fighter.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why is because I actually have 2 of them. It was the very first Star Wars vehicle I ever bought. Or I didn't buy. I actually got it for Christmas. And back in 1978. And so the memory I have of that is singular. It's a singular moment in my life, and it's a singular event. And I had it before I had the X-Wing. I had it before everything else. So that TIE Fighter I still own, and it's a thing that I would race into the house if it were on fire to collect and salvage. Okay.
Yep.
So that would be that. But the thing I love the most is probably my it came out maybe about 10 or 12 years ago. It's the gigantic Millennium Falcon. Not TVC. I think it was maybe like Saga or something like that. Saga collection. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Like, it's the first Millennium Falcon. Well, I own the original Millennium Falcon from the Kenner line, but this Millennium Falcon is, if you don't have it, everybody has to get it. It is the item that I play with. I guess, I don't play with a lot of the things that I have, but I play with that. Like, I play with it, and that is something that is precious to me. So
It's
yeah.
funny one day I'll get smart enough where I can figure out how to do a screen share thing. But did you actually see Yak Face posted earlier today or this week the differences between the black people who invest for monetary value? Like so the Black Series collection, all in all, every figure retail is worth about $19,000, and then aftermarket value is like 19,500. Meanwhile, TVC is like, oh, what is it? Fuck, I forget. The profit on TVC is like, I want to say like over 10, 15 grand. Just because those older vintage figures, the 3 3/4 inch, man, now that the HasLab Cantina funded and everything, a lot of those like price listings on eBay and Amazon have started to shoot up or whatever. And like, you probably know this too, like vintage collection figures, dude, they're like, dude, you're talking about like $16, $17 for a vintage collection figure nowadays.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
More, depending on character.
Well, I'll tell you. So I actually I bought the Cantina. So my thoughts on the vintage collection Cantina are this. So is it worth the money? Absolutely not. It's not worth the money, in my opinion. It's not worth the money. But I'm going to make it worth the money for the value that I get out of it, for customizing the things that I don't like about it. Yeah. I'm going to get my money's worth out of it. So, I think Hasbro has to take a really strong look at what are they offering? What is the value? And then, like, what can you do with this? Because there's a lot of things I like about that Cantina and a whole lot I don't like about it. And the things I don't like about it, I can fix. But not everybody can. Not everybody's in that position.
Go in, elaborate more on what you would fix about the Cantina, Hyper, because I'm curious of your thoughts about that.
So the interior of the Cantina is decent enough. But there's no floor to it. There's no floor. You think about the Cantina in the vintage collection, and the first thing that comes to mind is the floor. The fucking floor is so important because Walrus Man, his arm falls on the floor, and Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsabers it off, and it falls to the floor, and you get a detailed image of the floor.
This is hard to see, obviously, because the figure's on it, but like the fact that you have this color palette of it has a floor and it falls into the background. It's a similar shade of color, and it just gives that full effect, man.
Yeah.
I'm shit on this camera, but y'all get the point I'm trying to say.
So the flooring is so important because, especially if you're into figure photography or just world building, the floor. Yeah, there's no floor to it. So now somebody like me is going to buy it, and I have to then figure out a way to make the floor. And quite frankly, I'm excited about the prospect of doing that, but I'm also thinking about it in terms of just a person who spent $500 on this thing and doesn't want to have to build it. And I feel like that is a crucial element to the Cantina. So number one is I'm going to have to figure out a floor, and I think I've already figured it out. I think I know what I'm going to do with that.
Hell yeah, dude.
And then the other thing is that I absolutely hate about it is that the exterior, so sort of the walls and the exterior of that diorama are completely unfinished. You can see the screws, you can see the bracing behind it, and it's like, for that type of money, you shouldn't have to do that. That's way too much money to see unfinished screws, because let's face it, everybody likes to spin stuff around on turntables. Everybody likes to feature these things from 360 degrees, and that is a surface where, come on, like, we're paying top dollar for it and we can't do that. So again, I think I have a solution for that, and I'm going to do a video exclusively a series of videos exclusively on retrofitting the brand new cantina, which really kind of sucks if you think about it. Like, I have to now do a series of videos on how to fix the brand new item. And
yeah,
I don't know, to me that's kind of wrong, and it's a little bit sort of money grabbing philosophy.
$500 for the full like the Mac Daddy Cantina, and I believe like the half set was like 300 or something like that.
Yeah.
50.
Yes.
What shit? Where was I? Okay.
Timbo Toys, yes. Legacy Falcon, correct. That's the one I'm talking about. Yes. Sorry.
Oh yeah. Oh shit. Let me here, I'll shoot you another question, man. Oh, one more thing before this question, before we get off on another tangent.
Yeah.
You said something about you with the GI Joes, you get the peg warmers and stuff, and the reason that's good, and we should be thankful for guys like you who customize and fuck with extra shit and try to make variants of figures and add like variety to your shelf and collection. Getting those peg warmers off the shelf can be important. Obviously, when they get to Ollie's, they're not putting much in Hasbro's pocket. They've already, at that point, Hasbro and anything else has kind of wiped their hands up with it. But it's still, you're clearing it off the shelf. Even if you go to Walmart and you're buying a fucking Lando or a fucking whatever, you're clearing the shelf for customizing and different kit bashes and parts of figures. Like, we need to be thankful for people like y'all that do that kind of shit, because y'all are the ones that help clear the pegs, you know?
So you know, if you're into customizing or world building or diorama building or any of that type of thing, that like I am,
Right.
You almost go right past the main figure aisle and you go right to the clearance aisle, because that's the honey hole. That's where you're going to find the things that you want. And it also forces your creative hand. So if I'm buying the brand newest thing off the shelf, it's kind of like what they say about being a great chef. So anybody can cook a filet mignon. You're not going to mess it up. Like a great chef is going to cook a filet mignon, and they're going to be able to serve and present a filet mignon, and everybody's going to love it because it's a filet mignon. It's the top of the line.
Yeah.
A real chef knows how to cook with like chicken gizzards and like the offcuts and the mistakes and all of that. And so, you know, to me, and I'm not saying I'm the greatest thing ever, because I'm not by any stretch, but I've learned to use what I have that's available in an abundance at a budget. And I think there's some sort of real satisfaction in that, for clearing the shelves and taking something that nobody else wanted and turning it into something that people seem to like. And that's kind of the sweet spot that I operate out of. And so peg warmers and things like that are I sort of look for them because that's where you can fund this hobby efficiently, you know? So.
Okay, so next question I have for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to find. Okay, what's the better introduction to the line? And y'all feel free to throw in chat too your opinion. What's the better introduction to the Black Series line? Butterfly joints, photo reel, or blast and jet effects?
Dude, these questions are awesome, man. First of all. These questions are sick. Okay, so photoreal, blast effects, or butterfly?
That's right.
All right, so I'm going with butterfly.
Okay,
I'm going with butterfly.
Interesting choice.
But I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench into that. Not always, because earlier you mentioned we were laughing about Slave Leia and the Rise of Skywalker, old lady Slave Leia, and all of that, and re-releasing regular Slave Leia. There are some figures that don't require butterfly joints, right? Like, I mean, they're just some like most of the time, like droids don't, and female characters sometimes don't, because their arms are thin enough where they can sort of cross over and do things.
Yeah, get a little more petite figures.
Right. Right. So, but uh the larger figures, the bulkier figures,
Yeah.
and all of those, the butterfly joints now they grant you the ability to pose and to almost turn them into statues in real life scenarios, and I really like that. That's me. The photo real would be yes, right, like
Like Wrecker's a big swole guy,
right,
and like him being able to aim right down the barrel, kind of shouldering his blaster is actually really cool for like a bulkier figure.
yeah. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. So that question is a good question, but it's almost, to me, it's almost like a no brainer. Like you got to go with the butterfly. But then second to that, I would say a close second would be the blast effects. To be honest with you,
Yeah, dude, yeah, because I can make a figure look like, for instance, pre Vizsla that I have, he's on
yeah,
that old 2013 2014 Django body mold, terrible articulate, can't even bend his arms to like not even a 90-degree angle, like
right,
just like literally like that, like whatever that is. But him being, I have him on a flight stand up there actually with the dark saber. I got some, which actually something that I'm gifting to you out of my Dark Trooper pack that I had. I used that Jet Blast effects and I plugged it into his jetpack and put him on the
yeah.
flight stand, and it just takes the figure to a whole nother realm, dude. With the jetpack effects in there, man.
So I had this person come over from work, and she invited her husband and her kids over to take a look at my Star Wars room.
Cool.
And to your point, man, so if you're not knee deep into Black Series collecting, nobody gives a shit about the photo real as the basic general public. Now
Yeah.
we do, we care about it tremendously.
Yeah.
But like, so like all of these, like, here's a great example. Like, so all of these Hot Toys figures, right? People come over and they look at them and they go right past them and they look at the Hasbro 12-inch rubbery Barbie looking Anakin Skywalker, and they love it, and they're like, oh, it's Anakin. And I'm like, yeah, but look at these $500 clones. And they're like, yeah, great, but look at this Anakin, and, and you're like, why am I collecting these $500 figures when nobody cares about them? Because like the general public comes in and they look at my room and they're like, Anakin, Star Wars. Like they don't look at the photo real.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. So photo real is awesome. And I'm not saying it's in third place out of the three for any other reason other than most people who are not as deep into it as we are just don't give a shit about it.
Yeah.
Going
off of that, I kind of think I'd have to agree with Brian a little bit, because now, articulation wasn't in there. I can live without blast effects, and butterfly joints are amazing, especially for like being able to have a Jedi hold a lightsaber with two hands is fucking epic, and it can really, like, being able to have that dynamic pose on yourself can really make it pop or whatever. But if it wasn't for photoreal, dude, I gotta be honest, I don't know if I would collect Black Series.
I remember you said that. That's right. Yeah.
Like the aliens, droids, stuff like that. But like some of those rougher early like versions of the Black Series, like before photoreal was introduced about 2016, 2017. I think that character DJ was the first one they introduced with.
Right.
But the human characters before were just really rough looking and like were very lifeless. The alien sculpts were Hasbro. We've talked about this. Kills fucking they knock
kill it.
Yeah, sculpts out of the park. But when it comes to like, man, the photoreal, like the Dagobah Luke, dude, fucking the archive version of Princess Leia, or even the Hoth version of Princess Leia, like the likeness to Carrie and Mark. I mean, one that I really love, Count Dooku Christopher Lee, amazing photoreal. one of my personal favorites, Clone Commander, not really Commander, but Clone Trooper Jesse. That fucking head sculpt looks
it's awesome.
head on to tomorrow,
Awesome.
dude. Yep. It's so beautiful.
You've convinced me. Maybe that is second place for me.
I'm not trying to influence your answer, dude.
No, that's why we're doing this, right? So like you're right. Maybe you're right.
Okay.
I mean, look, first of all, it doesn't really matter, but second of all, you've convinced me. Maybe you're right. Maybe you guys are right. Like maybe the blast effects are third on the list. I get it. Yeah.
It also depends, because you have a good point too with going with blast effects, because depending on how you collect, like, I love posing my figures. Some people don't like posing; they just want them to look cool, and that's great too.
Right.
I love posing my figures, but that being said, you got people who do toy photography and stop motion. They might want blast effects and stuff like that rather than having photoreal, because some people just want it. Some people don't care about a pose and they just want it to sit on the shelf and look nice and like, oh, that's fucking Natalie Portman. That's Padme figure. That looks
right.
Or that's Christopher Lee, like whatever. But like some people want to be able to like pull off the crazy dynamic poses for photography or stop motion. So I guess it really just depends on what aspect of collecting you're looking at it from. But I feel you for switching your answer. Like it's a tough question, man, because we brought up good and bad things about the butterfly joints. That adds to the posing, the articulation. The photoreal adds to the aesthetic of the figure, and then you get the blast effects, which kind of is also an aesthetic feel to it too. But it's a really hard question for sure.
Well, first of all, I want to say good night to everybody who's leaving. I understand that they have to go, and thank you so much for joining us.
Yes, dude.
Thank you. It's been awesome. And I get it. But Brian Myers, I just wanted to say real quick, you know what? You don't suck at posing figures. You pose the figures the way you like to pose them, right? And everybody kind of just does it the way they want. And so there's no right or wrong way to pose a figure, or for that matter, to do a diorama or do a custom. Like you just do it the way you do it. And I don't think anybody would say, oh, that guy does terrible posing. I don't think it works that way at all. You do it the way you want. Okay. And that's kind of cool and authentic, So, but anyways.
Yeah, Timbo, thank you so much for tuning into the show, man. We hope we talk to you later. Thank you very much. We'll be in Hyper. We'll definitely keep track of you on your channel. Why so serious here? Blast effects are not so important for toy photography. Oh man, you know what? That's a good point. So serious. I didn't think about that. Like
that's true.
Guys like Fake Fury and even like Rebel Scum Photography, Tangy Fungus, or there's a couple other guys that they do a lot of the effects after they shoot the picture. So that's a good point. So serious. So I didn't even think about that, dude.
That's true. But for my purposes, I enjoy them because I like to. They look great in dioramas and in physical media, like physical dioramas. They look cool. So, and from across the room, you'll see the blast effects more than you'll see the photoreal. So that's where I'm coming from. But that's only my own opinion. And so, I mean, I certainly don't begrudge anybody for disagreeing. That's for sure. So.
Adding on to Brian here, man, I started out, I've been collecting for about, seriously collecting, like getting into Black Series for, like I said, I grew up with the toys and lifetime Star Wars fan, but seriously collecting the Black Series, I started out as an inbox collector, and I had I got a duplicate Clone Wars Maul and like a extra Kenobi or another Kenobi Vader, just to have a couple loose to fuck with, but most of my collection is loose now, man. I have some up on the wall here, like my Phantom Menace. I still got to work out my space, but then I got like R2 and Vader and some other ones sitting up here. But definitely still got a little bit more work to do here in the man cave in my Star Wars room. But it's just in the plastic-free packaging. When my cousin Brandon, he got me the mercenary version of Hunter and Wrecker. Picked it up in Walmart, and he got that to me, and it was a plastic-free packaging, so I was kind of forced to open them up.
Right.
And it just made me look at collecting figures like this, action figures at that, being able to enjoy them loose just intensifies the joy so much, man. It's cool to have one on display in the box, like how it was in the store, kind of have like a toy store vibe, but being able to have them loose and fuck with them, and like, bro, I'm sure you have a couple duplicates or triplicates of fucking figures where you want one to fuck with, one for your desk, and one in the box. You know, you buy a couple different figures because you want loose and whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. And so, you know, I mean, you know, you kind of learn after doing it for so long. For me, I've learned, you know, I've been doing it since 1977. I mean, I was there in the store buying stuff, you know, in 1977, 1978. And I've learned to sort of curb my appetites for these things. And because, you know, you'll just spend endless amounts of money on it if you don't have a direction. So my direction is I do the Armies of Star Wars shelf series, which people seem to like. And then that's about it. And you know, I don't buy every one more. I don't care about probably half of the releases that the Black Series does at this point. So I focus more on the ones that I really like. I'm a Stormtrooper guy. I'm a Clone Trooper guy. I'm an Army Builder kind of guy. So I focus on those. And then I really don't care about Bix Colleen and Mon Mothma from Ahsoka or any of that, or you know.
And, you know, I'm sure that Disney, like, you know, there's a reason I'm not in charge of marketing at Hasbro. There's people smarter than me that do that job. But it's funny to me, like, I wonder how they go through into character selection with new media. Like, who thought that those figures were good? Like, I get they probably have, like, Lucasfilm was probably like, all right, we need y'all to get at least, like, 16 or like 8 characters in two different waves of figures. Like a quote, I don't know how all that works, but like I wonder if they like tell them what figures. I wonder how that works. Like, who decides the character selection with new media? Because y'all really thought that Bix Kaling, it's just too early in the story, and they didn't have enough screen time to really.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
decent looking figures. I'll say that they look okay, but they don't really look like Star Wars figures.
I don't want to spend $25 on it though. You know.
Yeah.
But so why so serious? To answer your question, you'll have to tune in on Monday. On Monday, you will know the answer. So on Monday, I release my Black Series of Star Wars Army Builder shelves, and that question, do I own a dewback myself, will be answered, all in good time.
Yeah.
All right, Myers, there you go, man. Gen X in the house, right? We got to represent here a little bit. Show these guys what's up, you know. So.
Yes.
Hey, so Stone, we are now at 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Should we wrap this thing up? Do you think?
Oh, dude, yeah. I didn't even realize we were going that long, to be honest, dude.
Right.
So, I mean, if you're ready to wrap it up, man, we can.
Well, I feel like you know, 2 hours and change is probably enough for people to watch and without completely oversaturating them, and it gives us something to come back to, you know.
Yeah, for sure, dude. Yeah, we can call it here, man. That's totally fine by me, man.
So I just want to say in closing, thank you to all of those people who joined us tonight, and I welcome you to my channel, Hyperdrive Collections.
Yep, go check out Hyper.
What's that?
Oh, I was just saying, yeah, go check out Hyper, man.
And please, if you like what you see, you're welcome to subscribe, but don't feel like you have to. Maybe watch a few videos and watch a few upcomings and see if you like it before you commit to it. That's fine by me. Oh, yeah. And I want to also thank Stone for the platform here. This has been so cool, man. And I if people are up for it, I'd love to do another one in a few weeks, you know, or whatever you want, man. But
I'm down, man.
I'll come up with some more ridiculous questions. No problem.
Yeah, I think we're starting to kind of figure out this whole live stream thing.
Yeah.
So man, this was a lot of fun, dude. I've been wanting to do this since, like I said, I've been collecting like for a little over 2 years now. And oh, geez, why so serious, man? Thank you so much. I forgot you're man.
Go to bed, man. Go to bed, or yeah.
Why so serious? You're a trooper, dude. You are a legit badass.
Seriously, yes. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining us.
I know we're trying to wrap this up. I just wanted to say thank y'all all so much. We got to like 7 people in here. I was happy. I'm happy that we have 3. Like, thank y'all for getting in the comments and like hanging out with us. I hope we are going to do this again in the future. We're going to do this again in a couple weeks. A lot of y'all are already subscribed to me and Hyper, but it was just so great to see all your names in chat. We've been seeing y'all's names on our reviews and stuff like that, looking at y'all's channel. So just real big thanks. We're eternally grateful for y'all checking out the show, man.
Oh, and by the way, let me know. So if a good buddy of mine, Rob Meyer, not Brian Myers, but Rob Meyer, he made the logo for us. So let me know if you like that logo. I thought we thought it was kind of cool, and so special thanks and a shout out to him for that, because that was really cool that he did that. He took time out of his week for us to do that for us. So thank you to Rob for that. So.
Well, y'all, we're about at 2.5 hours. I guess we will cut it here. We will do this again in a couple weeks, and we will let y'all know. We'll probably do it. I don't know. What do you think again? Probably just keep it on Saturdays at 8 Hyper, just to kind of give some like uniform and routine to it.
Yeah, I think that works out well. If it works out well for everybody, that we'll do it. We'll do it.
Obviously, why so serious? Maybe not harder for you, but like if y'all ever chime in the chat again, let us know what time or what day of the week it would be better if we did do this. But I feel like Saturdays is just after 8, you're already kind of settled in your house, you're done for the day, you're just kind of winding down, scrolling, whatever. I just feel like Saturdays is just a cool, chill day to do it. But
absolutely. And just remember, if you're from Australia, I apologize. I apologize to all of you from Australia.
Yeah.
That was anyways. Yeah.
Well, y'all, I guess we will wrap it up here, because honestly, dude, I could go for another. I feel like I could go for another fucking 2 hours, but I know that's a little bit overkill. We want to come back and we will have plenty more conversations and talk to y'all again. Saturday's great, awesome, but I'm sure Hyper is ready to call it a night. And why so serious? Thank you so much, dude, coming all the way from fucking Germany, 4:30 in the fucking morning. Thank you, dude.
Everybody who joined, thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep saying thank, because like, dude, this was just so much fun. I've been wanting to do this for a long time, since I got into collecting and found the community. So this is just cool to finally be doing this, man. This is awesome. So yeah, thank y'all. Thank y'all.
Thank you very much.
So we are now ending the stream. Hyper and Stone Mando signing off. First episode down in the motherfucking books, baby. Thank y'all for tuning in, and we will see y'all next time on the Stoned and Hyper show. Have a good night, everybody. Hyper, I'll see you later, buddy.
Later, man. We'll see you.
Bye, everybody. Yeah, buddy.